Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it up for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about Ozempic part 2 and talk about how the FDA and Big Pharma, of course, is legalizing and approving different types of Ozempic generics out in the market and what you should do about this. Now, before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my other content that I have. I have a Christian YouTube channel here. I have 2 books about weight loss, and I have some podcasts about weight loss and biohacking that you might find interesting. All right, so I think most of you guys know what Ozempic is. Ozempic goes by other names, but Ozempic is the most famous one. It's a type 2 diabetic drug that's supposed to help type 2 diabetics, but it's commonly used off-label, meaning not for its intended purposes for weight loss. It's a shot, and in Hollywood, it's taken over. I mean, certainly in Hollywood, where there's an undue pressure put on both men and females, but mostly females, to lose weight and keep it off. So it's being used over there. It's really pushed on TikTok and Instagram. So most people know about Ozempic. And recently, not surprisingly, because Big Pharma realizes, oh, this is a cash cow. I don't know how they didn't realize this earlier, but when the study showed that Ozempic can lead to weight loss. And again, Ozempic is something that you have to take shots, but you have to take it daily. And yes, most studies will tell you that you will lose the weight, but you will regain it once you stop taking it. So it also has tons of side effects. It has thyroid tumors, pancreatitis, which is infection in your pancreas, which can lead to pancreatic cancer, which is the worst cancer to get, and other issues as well. But a lot of people are so desperate to lose weight, they don't care, and they'll take this drug. So when Big Pharma found out, incidentally, that this drug loses weight, well, of course, they're not stupid. They understand that the large majority of Americans are overweight. This is a humongous market. So now the different companies are racing to get the generics of Ozempic approved. And approved not for type 2 diabetes, but approved for weight loss. And so now you see this being rolled out. So I would say within a year, if not in less than a year, you're going to see Ozempic being, or a derivative of Ozempic, being available for weight loss. What would I tell you? Would I tell you to take this? Absolutely not. This is a quick fix. It's got long-lasting effects. There's studies coming out of Europe now. They're going to study whether or not it leads to suicide and suicidal ideation. I read that in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, actually. And I'm not saying it does lead to suicidal ideation, but the EU is going to start investigating that after some concerns that it might. And again, the big thing is, like, we want to lose weight in a healthy way. We don't want to lose weight where it might give us blindness and tumors. But we talked about it here in an earlier episode that something like 50% of Americans rather be thin and lose a year off of their life. And something like 20% of Americans rather be thin and have an arm chopped off or have a special ed kid. So there is this desperation among Americans, and I would say probably more centered on women, to lose weight. So you can see there's a desperation of it. And then furthermore, you see all these social media influencers telling you, oh, Ozempic this, it made me lose weight, da 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 da. And then, of course, we're just so indoctrinated by seeing drug commercials the last 20 years, because if you guys are young, you don't know that we didn't always have this. It used to be illegal for Big Pharma to advertise directly to consumers, but they changed that when the lobbyists bought off Hollywood and bought up Washington, I should say. So I would tell you, look, even if Ozempic is approved for weight loss, I would not take it, because you're going to have to take it the rest of your life. Some of you are like, I don't care if I have to take it the rest of my life if it keeps me thin. Okay, but it's got side effects that might end up hurting you long term and doing systematic problems to your body. I don't care about that. I totally get it if you're desperate. What I would tell you is, look, we have bariatric surgery. That too has side effects, but at least overall, I would tell you that's going to be healthier than Ozempic. Not to say it's a perfect route, but if you're morbidly overweight, bariatric's probably the best way for you to go. And I would tell you, like with all things, the best way to lose the weight and to keep it off, which is harder than losing the weight, is you got to do the deep work and disconnect emotions to eating. So we end up like the dog who just eats when they're hungry and walks away. We have to get to the root of the source, which causes to have a disordered relationship with food, which is typically in childhood. That's when it happened. And address that. Because if you don't, you're just going to be yo-yo dieting your whole life, doing quick fixes, and then taking experimental drugs. And no one can doubt that Ozempic is experimental. Taking experimental drugs And all of it's just gonna be up and down at your body's peril. When the longer, albeit harder road, but in the long term, the better road is just do the deep work and not have a disordered relationship with food. And I would tell you that's the best way to go. Even though short run, it's gonna be much harder and you might have to unpack a lot of demons from your childhood. In the long run, that's the better way to go. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Do you know anyone who takes Ozempic? Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.